Happy Metal Monthly to me. Happy Metal Monthly to me. Happy Metal Monthly, all new metal. Happy Metal Monthly, no new metal to me. Howdy, Banger Pals. Blayne Smith joining you for another Metal Monthly, Bangers Monthly look at what's coming out in metal releases. If you're watching this July 4th, hey, it's my birthday. Thanks for coming out on my birthday. Look at this nice party we're having. This is Metal Monthly. Every month, I pick the 5 best underground metal albums coming out every single month, play you a little bit of them, talk about them. But before we get to that, we also list some of the new and noteworthy releases. These might be featured on the channel. We might be reviewing some of these, especially the first one that I'm going to mention. Of course, I'm going to be reviewing. And, you know, just a thing, you know, some albums to keep your eye out for before we get into the juicy goodness. Up first, July 7th, we've got Black Braid releasing Black Braid 2. It's a self-release. We love to see that. And yes, you'll be seeing me talk about Black Braid quite shortly. And we've also got Nita Strauss releasing The Call of the Void on Sumerian. July 14th, we've got Evile releasing The Unknown on Napalm. And Voyager is releasing Fearless in Love on Season of Mist. July 21st, 2023, we've got Akercocke releasing Decades of Devil Worship on Peaceville. We've got Greta Van Fleet releasing Starcatcher on Lava/Republic. We've got Mizmor releasing Prosaic on Profound Lore. And we've got Voivod, our pals, releasing Morgoth Tales on Century Media. July 28th, Girl School are back. Can you believe it? They're releasing WT45. I don't know what's going on there. On Silver Lining, still sound great. And Mutoid Man is releasing Mutants. That's a self-release. So that's the list off the top. Let's get into my picks for the month. Kicking things off, we've actually got our palette cleanse off the top because you know I wasn't putting Flights, Echoes of Journeys Past on Dying Victims Productions coming out July 28th anywhere but in my top spot. So have a listen.
Sign up to flashes across the sky. She sees the secret in her hands. A heavy load rests upon her shoulders, carrying the burden across the lands.
Flight are Norwegian proto-metal. We've got a cover that sets the stage really well. It's slightly weathered looking. It's got a collage theme going on. It's by Philip Igamnov. I'm probably messing that up. You know I love my 70s time travelers, but these are my absolute number one 70s time travelers. They just stepped out of the portal and they sound good doing it. I've been doing Metal Monthly since January 2019. Unfortunately, Flight released their last album November 23rd, 2018, so I've been waiting ever since to talk about them in this exact spot, but the record is finally here, and I couldn't be more excited. I will admit, if you haven't heard them before, Christopher Brothen, I'm probably getting that wrong too, the letter has a hat on it. What do you want me to do with that? His voice is a little strange. It could even be described as an acquired taste, but it's an acquired taste in the same way like truffles are an acquired taste, where once you have a taste for it, you realize it's one of the finest ingredients in the world, and it really just makes the whole record super unique. No one will ever sound like Flight, and this is before we even get to talking about the musicianship on display on the record. Ooh, baby, it's progressive, but of course, they're very 70s sounding, so it's that 70s style of progressive where everybody's very good at their instruments, but they've also been to a party before, so they understand that regular human beings like to have fun. I've been listening to A Leap Through Matter for no joke, 5 years. Regularly, a couple of times every month ever since, so know if you buy this record, it's some Willy Wonka everlasting gobstopper shit. You are going to get your money's worth, so buy it. Up next, we got my favorite Polish boys. It's Eternal Rot with Moribound coming out on Memento Mori / Gods of War July 24th. Polish death doom looks as good as it sounds, because we've once again got an Eternal Rot album cover done by Mark Riddick. But then on top of that, they got someone to do artwork for the album title. That's really an attention to detail. It's done by Paul Markovics. It looks great. It's that extra sprinkle. Bands, if you can do that, why not? It's really awesome. I've featured Eternal Rot on this channel a lot, more than I regularly do, because normally I like to discover a new band, that hit of excitement, and ooh, it's new and shiny. I'll never get over that. I love that feeling. But Eternal Rot keep releasing records, and they keep surprising me. They keep leveling up their game a lot in between each release. This record has one of the biggest just openings, starts, just fucking comes in and blows you away. So it gave me that hit of like discovering a new band with a band that I already love. So that's really awesome. The thing I like about Death Doom is it's a formula that's really tweakable, right? You can adjust the amount of death or the amount of doom, those ratios you can play with, the flavor of the death or the flavor of the doom. For like a micro-genre or a sub-genre, sub-genre, there's actually so much breadth to the thing. I mean, there's a whole corner of it I don't like. That doesn't normally happen with these like little compact, more specific genres. And this time, I don't know, they've almost put like brutal death metal in there in a way that I enjoy. I don't know how to describe it. The record's very gross, I guess is how I'd describe it. The vocals sometimes approach on a pig sound, but it's a low and slow pig sound, not that kind of high squealy one. So yeah, again, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they keep figuring out new formulas, but these guys are mad scientists. They even start a song with a guitar solo. Why don't more bands do that? I want all songs to start with guitar solos moving forward. And just a quick nod to the production here. It's very huge, very echoing in a massive cavern that you're in, and they play with where the instruments sit, like in the track, and they're turning knobs and dials, and it is that last little thing that I needed to push the record over the top for me and get in here. Once again, they keep doing it. Stop it! Up next, we've got Organ Dealer with The Weight of Being coming out on Everlasting Spew, July 28th. So, despite how it might seem, I do try and bring you as many different genres as I can every single episode of this show. So, without further ado, I present to you, yes, honest to goodness, this is grindcore. This is grindcore. It's not death with grindcore elements. From New Jersey, it is grindcore in all its 21-song, 22.5-minute runtime glory. But Blayne, I thought you hated grindcore, just like you hate stoner rock. When did I hate stoner rock? Regardless, I don't hate any genres. I can just be a little picky. It's not my fault. Death and black bands just keep releasing better records than everybody else. It's up to the other genres to step up. And boy, let me tell you, Organ Dealer has stepped out, stepped up, and then stepped over everybody else, because this record is top notch. They do a thing that grindcore can sometimes struggle with a bit, which is, despite the fact that there's 21 songs, each sounds distinct and different, from the opening song, which has a fun little bass groove going to it, to the varied vocal performances, harsh and high, low and guttural, guest vocals. This is really a record that shows you the strengths that grindcore can have. There's 21 songs, and each song I was so excited to hear the next one, because I was like, oh man, what's this next one gonna sound like? And there's 21 of them, so you just get 21 little surprises throughout a record. And it's super fun. I mean, I just want to see this live so I can dance to it. It's groovy. It's great. And Organ Dealer, I love the record. I'm sorry if my compliments in this record came off a little bit like that time the Street complimented Jon Stewart when the Justice League traveled back to the 1950s. Oh.
You know your stuff. It's an honor to fight beside you.
The feeling's mutual. You're a credit to your people, son.
Thanks.
As I mentioned off the top, it is my birthday. If you forgot to get me something, you can get me a follow on my Twitch channel. Yes, I stream on Twitch. I stream the research for this video, so you can hear all the best bands, all the worst bands, find your new favorite band live with me on Twitch every Sunday at 4 p.m. Also, if you like the content of Banger TV and keeping the channel going, we have a Patreon campaign where you can toss us a couple bucks so we can keep making this content and keep making it without any sort of fingers coming in and trying to hey, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you shave your balls? Why don't you like this record? None of that. You guys keep us going, so we appreciate that. Means the world to us. Moving on to Astralborne's Across the Aeons, coming out on Prosthetic Records, also July 28th. July 28th, big day. Better get your wallets out. Save up. We're going to Toledo. We're grabbing a melodic death metal band. We're slapping a Juano Castellano cover on them. Jesus Christ. That guy does some great work. Holy hell, he can draw. So melodic death metal, again, a genre that I don't talk about quite as much, but who cares what the genre is? If the record is this good, you talk about it, and you talk about it right here. This is, first of all, a melodic death metal band. Let's, I don't know, tip our hats to fire off some fireworks because we found a melodic death metal band that's not talking about Vikings. They're going to space. We got a sci-fi theme. Woo! Melodic death metal not made by Euro weeps. Woo! 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 Anyways, this hits the kind of three main pillars of great melodic death metal to me. First, the guitar tone of the leads, the melodic leads. You got to have perfect guitar tone, and it's got to fill me up. It's got to be the wind beneath my wings. It's got to send me to space, and boy, howdy does it. Number two, technicality. Super technically proficient. You probably could have guessed the guys were going to be technically proficient when they put space on the album cover. I don't know what it is about space bands, but holy hell can they play their instruments. And number three, it's still harsh. It's still aggressive. No one on the record at any point went, hey, you know what's missing here? Clean vocals. And I fly. Doesn't happen. It's a fantastic, heavy record that just happens to also have great melodic guitar parts. So what more could you want? Nothing. Buy it. And hey, it's a double palette cleanse month. We're closing things out with another one. It's The Night Eternals Fatale, coming out on Van Records July 14th. Our closer is German heavy metal, and I gotta admit, I almost didn't feature this record because nothing to do with the music itself. There's just no digital pre-order. And look, I love buying physical copies of things. I got a ton of records. I got a crazy amount of t-shirts. But I'm a digital man. I'm currently talking to you digitally, so I like being able to send people to a place where they can buy a digital copy. Maybe they live in a small apartment. They don't got places to put stuff or something. Fan Records, why don't you have a Bandcamp page? Y'all do great work. Let's set the Bandcamp page up. We can do it together. Come on, let's go. Then I listen to the record, and who the hell cares if they don't have a digital pre-order. Buy a copy however you can. Get a hold of this thing because it's fantastic. A lot of bands in this genre, even the best ones, can kind of struggle with the full weight of an album. They usually have a bunch of amazing songs, but there's a little bit of dead zone sometimes on the records. A track that slows down, you know how I feel about slow songs, just doesn't have the energy and the urgency of the rest of the album. But you press play, you go, every track just keeps building on the energy and the momentum of the previous track, chugging along that steam train, even when they fake you out and they come in with the second to last song being an acoustic interlude, and you go, oh boy, here's the ballad as the album closer. Nope. Album closer, just as much energy as the rest of the album, if not more, making you feel like you just took a new pre-workout and you're like, whew, thank God I'm not a professional athlete. Otherwise, I would be popping for this. Instead, I'm just a weird guy in a garage, so everything's good. Give me more of that. Part of this is because there's really just a fantastic vocalist in this band, Ricardo Baum, massive voice, absolutely glorious. But on the other side of the band is drummer Alistair Prackett, who's a big part of the reason this record has so much energy. His drumming, gosh darn it, give this guy a pink fursuit and some sunglasses because he is the Energizer Bunny. Holy hell. And the whole thing just sounds perfect. We've got Marco Brinkman doing production and Arthur Risk, the god, doing mastering. So really just a strong month for album production as well as just performances. So just, hey, that was great. Everybody did a great job. Thanks for coming out. I've been Blayne Smith. Goodbye.